Hello guys, KD Visual Designs here. So today I'm going to show you the process of how I did the hip hop greatest hip hop artists. So essentially, I did this drawing. Well, it's a poster basically of the greatest rappers of all time, and I was going through the history of hip hop in a sense, trying to get to show all the icons, all the rap stars of the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and for me the most lyrical ones, of course. Like, I think rap is an art form, it's a skill, and it's like a sport. You know, so going back from the 80s, late 80s, early 90s with NWA, they were changing rap. Gangster rap was a new thing. It's a new wave. So that brought a lot of controversy, but rap was going in a good direction, in terms of authenticity and realness. Like, they were coming straight from the underground. Then you had the 90s, mid 90s with Biggie and Tupac, big icons, really, showcasing their talent lyrically, over the top. Two legends, R.I.P., rest in peace. And I had to showcase that in the poster. I had Tupac in the middle right there. Then it's like rap is a global thing. Fans everywhere. DMX there, Eminem there. Since the 90s, early 2000s, it's been a thing where a lot of people can resonate with some of their stories. These poets, the artistic nature of their flows, the lyrics, everything. It's just crazy. But I fell in love with rap a lot when I was like around 12 years old. So yeah, brought the new game to it. 50 Cent with the bars. Rap City, I used to watch that a lot on YouTube back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I sound like a fanboy of American rap. I mean, I'm from the UK, but that's where it's at. Every time I was in a bad mood, I just listen to that hip hop. Some Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, 2001, getting me hype, man. You know what I'm saying? Tyler, the Creator there, A$AP Rocky, Big Girl with the lyrical, Missy Elliott, crazy bars. Andre 3000, crazy bars. DMX, crazy bars. Snoop Dogg, crazy bars. You know how it goes, fam. You know how it goes, fam. In MF Doom, I had them near there in the middle. Like, he's a mysterious kind of guy, so he's just there. Like, when I was finished with the drawing, it was quite an accomplishment for me. But yeah, I feel like I accomplished something. Like, I put something together where all my favorite artists are, on display. And yeah, this was my first attempt at a poster. So it was my first attempt drawing a lot of faces, a lot of caricatures, should I say, and a lot of likenesses. How I come up with these ideas and things like that, and essentially what you can take from it, from me being an artist, just developing my skills, and how we can learn from each other, and you can teach me, give me tips. And anyways, yeah, so I've been a fan of hip-hop for a long time. Yeah, rap has been one of my favorite things I've listened to, like maybe around the age of 10, 11. The first rappers I was introduced to were Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Biggie Smalls. And yeah, like, I really liked a lot of the 90s hip-hop, because that was what I was introduced to. I'm from the UK, but I've always been more in tune with the American side, because that's what I heard first. Being from Zimbabwe, that's what you hear, like, internationally. The biggest rappers are the American ones, so those are the ones I used to really cling to. But I do also like the UK rap scene, so I might actually do a video or a drawing showing the greatest UK rappers. So I do have a fair share of love for the UK. So essentially what I'm trying to say is that I'm a fan of hip-hop, America, Britain, whatever, but yeah, I'm from the UK, by the way, London. So yeah, hip-hop is a big thing that I'm into. I love rap. I love the new school artists as well. But in terms of my top 5, I'd say maybe Biggie, Tupac, Kendrick, Eminem, and who else would I say is one of my top 5? DMX, or it might be Snoop Dogg with the other one. No, actually, the 5th one is Nas. Yeah, Nas is one of my top. But anyways, in this poster, I go through some of my skills. As you can see, some of the rappers were based on the Forbes list. Then Forbes dropped a list of top greatest rappers of all time, and I just wanted to show you guys how I could, put that on paper and visually represent that in a sense. So yeah, some of my inspiration. This one being one of my favorite ones, and this one as well, second one. So I looked at other posters and how other people did them, and influences, just like some precedents for what type of music albums came out. I really like this one as well, very colorful, but my style is more black and white, but I might start doing more color and some new era rap posters as well. So as you can see in the artwork, there are times where it's like, damn, I know that rapper. Should that rapper be in that spot? So it's just a thing where you just have to think to yourself, well, it's Forbes list, but I have my favorite top 5, as I just said. So I'm a hip hop purist. I love old school stuff, freestyles, all that stuff is here and dear to me. When I go to work, when I was at university listening to music, it was mainly 90s hip hop. I'm saying, I do like the new school rappers, Kendrick, J. Cole's, Drake, a bit of Drake, the beef, yeah. Alrighty then, let's get straight into the drawing. So I started with Tupac, and some of these pictures are the drawings I've done with Tupac in the past. So I'll show you my skill of how far I've come and some albums and my inspiration. Tupac's one of the greatest rappers. I was using ballpen pen on this drawing, A4 paper, standard. That's my go-to for most of my drawings. And this is something you see in most of my drawings anyway. But I want to start doing color. So I got a reference image. I got loads of reference images for this poster. But I messed up the eyes. Got to improve that on the next one. It's a good drawing, Tupac drawing. Anyways, moving on to Biggie. Got the reference image. Another iconic rapper from the 90s. Legendary rapper, R.I.P. Biggie, R.I.P. Tupac. But yeah, so this is another drawing I did of Biggie before. So yeah, developing my skill and stuff. Then taking that same style, it's a different style to the poster, maybe a bit more improved. Then Eminem, one of the best rappers ever, I mean, he's lyrically there, on point, concepts, everything. So this is a drawing I did before of him. And then, yeah, man, Eminem's been that guy, man, since the Marshall Mathers LP, the Slim Shady LP that I still listen to. I listen to these albums constantly every year, so it's a classic. So yeah, just started with the line outs, the outline, shading, then finished it. Slim Shady was there. Slim Shady, that's how it goes, bro. That's how it goes. At this point, I was basically working my way through the drawing. Got most of the key rappers there. You saw Jay-Z there, Kendrick Lamar, Lil Kim, Biggie, Tupac, Eminem. This is how I went to do Kendrick, how I started with Kendrick. Shading, getting the face there, shading and everything. Kendrick's one of the legendary rappers, Butterfly. And these are some of Kendrick's past, some of my past. And not like us tribute. And this one for the beef with Drake. That beef was funny, man. But winners, some win, some lose. The game's the game. Hip hop is a game. It's a sport. So it's a mentality. Lyrically, you have to be on point, have the hits, everything, But yeah, and this is another one of GNX album cover. It was alright, a bit off, but you can see with that original. But yeah, Kendrick's a legendary rapper, man. Alright, one of the best songs on To Pimp a Butterfly. And yeah, Kendrick finished it off, got the eyes in, and yeah, I think it's alright. It's close to the reference image. Then Drake, the man Kendrick hates, or Drake hates Kendrick, you know, some past drains here. And yeah, Headlines is one of my favorite songs. Take Care. But won the beef. Who do you think won the beef? Tell me in the comments. And it's Jigga. This is a boss drawing I did in 2024. And you know, yeah, I was developing my skill. The Blueprint album, one of the best albums. I can't lie, one of the best albums hands down. Jay-Z was done. Then moving on to Lil Kim. You know, I mean, I liked her before, you know. I mean, she was hot in the 90s, but you know, yeah. Anyways, Nas, Illmatic, one of the hardest albums ever. And you know, It Was Written is also. And this is a drawing of Nas I did before. So just developing my skill. And here, I messed up again with the eyes. Mistake. MF Doom, one of the top lyricists ever, you know. Really that guy. So this is a past drawing I did, you know, working on my shading. I think I was getting better. And yeah, between Eminem and Tupac, Mysterious. So moving on to A$AP Rocky. Yeah, I think back when I was in high school, I used to bump this guy, A$AP, Mob, everything. So yeah, he has to deserve a place there. Missy Elliott, one of the most legendary female artists, you know. So yeah, then Big L, had to put him in there. Mostly because my brother told me if I was going to do this, I have to include him. So this poster, you know, has a lot of influence from other people. Andre 3000, past drawing of him. Yeah, I was slowly getting better. But that's him on the poster. DMX, it's gonna give it to you. Past drawing. It's alright, you know, could have done better. Yeah, DMX, another legend of the game. Had to put him there. And then Miss Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, nice drawing I did, you know, beautiful woman. So, and Lil Wayne there. Some people's favorite rapper, not for me, not much, but I mean he's dope. J. Cole, one of the greatest rappers ever. I mean, this guy practically started the Kendrick beef, but there's a past drawing I did of him. Could have worked on the shading. Kanye West. Had to include him. Recent controversy. This guy, you know, he's got, I know, Kanye is Kanye, but a legend. So yeah, J. Cole and Kanye, you know, 50 Cent, one of the greatest, most realest rappers. Dream before, this is when I started drawing, like in 2023, so I was still getting my way. But many men wish death upon me. Bro, this song is a banger, man. One of the most gangster rap song ever. Dr. Dre, past drawing of him. You know, he's one of the best rap, you know, producers ever in hip hop. So I had to include him. Big Daddy Kane, you know, another legend. Common, had to include him. Lauryn Hill, Most Def. Quite a lot of people. Ice Cube. Past drawing of him I did. You know, I love this song.
Just like George Clinton, SKP is down.
A classic song. So Ice Cube had to come there, you know, NWA with Dr. Dre right there. Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J, Pusha T. Had to include them two legends of the game. Pusha has the rhymes. Method Man, you know, being a fan of Wu-Tang Clan, I had to include him. You know, I think he's my favorite from the Wu-Tang Clan. Raekwon should have got there too, but maybe in the next hip-hop piece I do, Raekwon will be in there. You know, an old dirty bastard. Method Man right there. With Queen Latifah, one of the greatest female rappers ever as well. Rakim, you know, legend. Master the Flow. Tyler the Creator. One of the best new school. This is the past drawing I did of him. It's alright, you know. Yeah. So it was coming together as one of the best albums I ever listened to. It was my introduction to hip hop. So, you know, I enjoyed it. So yeah, the drawing was done. You know, this was my first attempt. I've never drawn like loads of faces on a page before. So this was my first attempt at a poster, and this led to the other drawings that I did, which I'm gonna do videos on as well, of my other posters I've done. So yeah, you know, hip hop is something that I love. I love rap. Even in school days, we used to have rap freestyles with my friends back at my school. Shout out Open College. So yeah, it was all the olden days. So the influence was always there, man, from school days and playground, just rapping, freestyle. We usually have big crowds of everyone trying to see what's happening. So hip hop is something that's been there with me, you know. I even contemplated being a rapper one time, but you know, I wasn't trying to, you know, I don't know, the African family, you know, standards hopefully think especially wanting you to do certain careers, but you know, eventually I just went and did architecture because I love art. And yeah, so I'll be doing more videos maybe to around my architecture stuff, but you know, we'll see. And that's the greatest rappers of all time poster. I don't even know how many rappers were on that poster. 35, maybe 37. The list is 50, but I don't know if I went to that level, but or that amount basically. But that's essentially what it was. But anyways, yeah, you know, maybe the next poster I do will be better. I will do some improvements. You know, I'm still growing as an artist, but you know, learning. You know, essentially, I love comics. So I really do like to draw comics. If you go on comic characters or movie characters, if you go on my Instagram, KD_visceral_designs, you will see that. And yeah, man, follow me on Instagram, KD_visceral_designs, and make sure you guys subscribe. Yes, you subscribe, you know, if you want to see more great art. You know, but anyways, you gotta just, you know, go with the flow, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, also my TikTok, KD_visceral_designs. Follow me there too, you know, build that up, bring that Instagram up, bring that you know, what can I say? Yeah, everything up, man. We up 2025. Let's go. More projects coming, more drawings coming, and I'm gonna be doing some time-lapse drawings, speed drawings and stuff. More of that, but high quality. You know, getting my influence from other artists such as like King John G and some other Instagram artists like Wajatology. I think that's how you say it. I like his style, so you know, I'm incorporating some of that. And guys, anyway, by the way, if you want prints of some of my works, some of my drawings such as the hip hop poster, hit me up at KD_visceral_designs on Instagram, or my personal Instagram, Kuds_mo. So yeah, these will be starting at £10, 10 British pounds. I don't know what that is in dollars or other currencies, but you can look that up on Google. But yeah, this is the Justice League one I did as well. There's loads I've done, so you know, I'm gonna be posting some more of them on YouTube so you guys can know in my other videos. So yeah, starting at £10. The Avengers, the Batman, and the greatest hip hop artists, rappers poster. I need to start giving these the name, you know. But yeah. Art is something I love. Music is something I love. So why not combine the two? Yeah, anyways. Watch watch out for the next video.